Yep.
Friends, welcome back to Battletech Oath of Endosteel, Season 4, Episode 21. I stopped in the middle of that for no apparent reason. Just completely lost the thread. This episode takes place yes, it was my internet, of course. Except that on the recording, that doesn't make any sense because it's recorded locally. So this episode takes place chronologically after Battletech Blades of Honor Season 2, Episode 5. You should probably watch that episode if you want to know what's about to happen in this episode. So the other group has completed their plans to counter your plans, and you are now in the final stretch of attempting to complete this, the first of 3 scenarios, after which we'll start the second scenario where the Blades of Honor crew will go first. You guys will go to counter them, and then they will go. And then the final scenario, of course, both sides will be working together against a third party. Whichever side stocks up the most victories out of that is going to be the official winner. I do also need to announce that Battletech Blades of Honor will also... So this show is ending on this arc. Blades of Honor crew have decided to also retire at the end of this arc. So both Battletech shows will officially be over. Rad just wanted to face off against Sam. That was everything for him. And now that it's happening, and it seems like it's going to be a real easy win, he's phoning it in. He's ADHDing his way out.
The long con of getting AP to run and organize a whole other show. Wait
for 2 years. No, let's be clear here. This Blades of Honor has been going on for a while. It's in its second season. However, I was planning through the clan invasion and the Battle of Luthien. And yeah, we're probably not going to do all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really remember a ton of what happened last time, other than us like failing on every roll we tried. So, but it doesn't sound like the other group failed on everything they tried. So that's probably not great for us.
Sam, you are currently in a car with a local senator by the name of Charlie Briggs Bronson. He is attempting to get reelected. By car, I mean, security limousine. You are holding a gun on the driver and keeping the senator held in place. Your brother and sister have finally killed everyone in all of the other SUVs and have taken complete control of their SUV. Your guns are smoking. A lot of people have been shot or stabbed several times. Everything is going to shit. You very obviously, the security forces know you're coming. You are driving up a remote alpine road to reach the top of a ski resort. At the top of the mountain, there is a remote radio broadcast facility that is controlled by military intelligence and the government. You are there in order to gather supposed theoretical military intelligence that could be present. As your SUV and the limousine go around the last bend, both groups can see that there is a large olive drab helicopter, like one of the long Russian ones that has 2 sets of blades and can hold like an armored personnel carrier and a full platoon of men inside, sort of deal. And you see like a woman in like her 40s with like curly, like, steely gray hair. She's got like a little cane and like a little briefcase, and she's making her way up the ramp. There's like soldiers who are escorting her up. They see you coming and point, and the gate guards begin putting the gate guard down and drawing their weapons and pointing in your direction. You've probably got about 10 seconds before you're going to smash into the bars that block the path to this facility. The outside of it is surrounded by a chain link fence. The inside facility seems to be about 3 buildings, an annex that are in a U shape around a large like radio transmit tower in the middle that seems to have satellite uplink connection, radar, everything you'd expect from a little remote military intelligence outpost. And of course, at the open end of the U is the helicopter pad, where it seems some important person, possibly Dr. Ruth Miller, is being loaded on board in order to take off.
Is there a redo mission button?
No.
I did. So close.
Quick load is disabled for this mission.
No restart mission? All right, cool. Yeah.
Sorry, you're playing an MMO, not a single player RPG.
All right.
Perfect.
So, Athena being the scientist and the planner, I wanted to ask: is it possible to have like a flashback moment of like contingency plans and things like that? So
this is going to be real thin ice. I'm like a judge here. I'll allow it. You're not allowed to wander that far from the reality of how things have gone from now.
That's fair.
I reserve the right to veto if you do something just straight up out of pocket.
Yeah. What Sam just said was like one of the first thoughts I had was like, is there a Stinger missile in this vehicle of some kind?
No.
But no, like
that was an example of something absolutely absurd.
Yes. It was my first thought. But
does this thing? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, then more sensible thoughts came out, and I started thinking about like, oh, maybe there was something like technological that I'd be able to like either open the door or cause like a momentary
hack into the gate?
reprieve. Maybe something like that. Like, yeah, doing like maybe like I have a laser antenna that I pull out and put on the hood, and like focus, like try to penetrate the security system.
You have been desperate to use your post-tech skill for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is in pocket rather than out of pocket. I'll allow some leverage style late 2000s hacker bullshit where you attempt to take control of the gate. I mean, Now You See Me gets a third movie, so if we can suffer through that, we can definitely suffer through whatever's about to happen. Is it computers as a skill? Hold on a second.
Computers is its own skill.
Yeah, I think this will probably be...
is for like engineering shit.
Yeah, I think this will be computers then, unless you don't have that.
Hold on a second.
Post-tech is like, I need to fix an engine.
No, I mean, I have science, pre-tech, and post-tech.
I'll let you do post-tech at a -1.
All right, so
that's pretty reasonable.
It negates my bonus from post-tech. So, okay, so I have a 0 from that, and then with this
intelligence,
dexterity, intelligence, charisma,
intelligence for sure.
Okay. I have a 12 in that, so I think I'm just rolling flat.
Yeah, it's a flat roll. I'm going to say this is a 7 difficulty. Okay, that's how we're going to be today. All right, that's fine. You got a 9.
Got a 9.
There was some real rollover there that helped you out quite a bit. There was a 1 showing on that die for a long time before it settled on a 4.
It floated. This is why you roll across the board. That's why you roll across the board. Give us momentum.
Yeah, it needed that momentum to get that last push over the edge. I don't think physics is supposed to work like this, but very well. You beat Boop, and you could see both gate guards go, huh? And they turn as they see as the bars that block your path immediately begin going back up.
Sweet.
Now, normally I wouldn't make you make a driving roll because you are the one in the driver's seat, except you're hacking right now, which means you're driving distracted. So I will require you to make a driving roll as a result.
Cool.
Don't text and drive.
That is indeed the lesson we're attempting to take from this.
Cool. Yeah. I've got vehicle space. Is this a space vehicle?
No, it's wheeled.
I'm kidding.
It's pilot land with dexterity, and if you don't have it, it's at a -1.
Arguably, this is a culture criminal.
Good point.
I like the idea that my brother has like jumped over to like help me steer while I'm just pedal to the metal behind this thing hacking. What do you think, AP? Is that reasonable?
You're pulling the high school move where somebody's texting and so they ask their friend to help them steer.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that did not happen when I was in high school. So
Well,
I
Can I
guess
help
maybe
with
I'm
a
too
plus
old.
one?
They didn't have cell phones yet when you were in high school.
We had
Andy.
cell phones. Fuck you. But they were the cell phones where you had to hit the button multiple times to get to the correct.
Look, I get it.
Yes.
There was no telegraphing while driving. It's,
Oh, damn.
Jesus, I'm not even 40, man.
I
What
think I'm the
the
oldest
fuck?
one here.
We had AOL when I was a kid.
I just chose violence for no reason.
When I was born, the internet didn't exist, Sam.
Yeah, well.
Hey, at least when I was born, the internet did exist.
Okay. I will let you make this roll as a culture criminal with dexterity because I will threadbarely buy the case that it is against the law. I did establish it is against the law to text and drive, and it would be a criminal activity to do this. I will allow it. Do you actually have culture criminal?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think
does
Eddie
Athena
does.
have culture criminal?
Oh, no. I thought
All that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have Culture Spacer and Whittington. No, I thought my brother was.
All of Whittington are criminals.
I will let him cancel your -1 for not having the skill.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your dexterity?
Just a 12, so it's a flat roll.
Okay,
again.
so it's a flat roll again. You need a 6 to not crash the car.
This is the dumbest game.
I see a 1 on one of these dice.
This might be the moment for you to use your expert roll.
Yeah, just use it
honestly.
early.
Yeah, we're gonna use it early. Okay.
That'll do it.
That's a 6.
Minimum.
That's a 6.
Walking it in.
You keep the car steady because your brother leaps from the back seat into the front seat, his arms stretched out over, like the shifter and the console or whatever, and just holds the car steady. You look up and you're beep boop beep boop beep boop ing, and you're like, "Oh, thanks, bro." As you're driving forward.
Thank goodness for that.
Okay. So you
I
haven't
follow.
gone through the
Let's
gate
swerve
yet
back,
unless
yeah.
you want to. You tell me what you want to do. The good news is you just don't crash on the way in.
All right. Now here's my original question that just popped in my head. There's no dragon's teeth or anything on this, right?
Nope. It's just
Nice.
a bar that comes down. And now it's gone up, so
And there are guards with
they
that
called
are
it the
gonna shoot
crocodile
us.
when I worked on Air Force Base, so
Are there,
Yeah, that
are there
makes sense.
guards trying to shoot us?
So I think as you're driving forward, the people, I think because Eddie isn't paying attention, the only one who sees it because he's watching the road is Eric. You see that there is a guard who is wearing a uniform, has a tag that says Nakamura on it. He has a pistol out. He's basically pointing it directly at you. And as he goes to pull the trigger, the magazine falls out of the well.
Love that.
The other guard has his gun out, but doesn't appear to have actually, worked the action to get the first bullet in. And so he pulls the trigger and nothing happens. And then your car, the SUV flashes past. So that's what you see.
Someone on
Sorry.
the Blades group must have rolled really poorly for these cards.
Yeah. Gang, what is our exfil plan?
Do we even have any more plan?
Yeah. No, there's a plan. There's a plan.
We
The
got
helicopter is taking off.
Here's
There are
the
3
plan.
buildings here. There are more guards. It looks like there's a total of 6 guards. They are essentially grabbing some form of cover and pulling out pistols. You have an SUV and a stretch limo. The limo is being driven by a cooperative security guard you're holding a gun on, and you also have a senator.
So
These are your assets.
Here's the plan that came into my head. Go with it or spin off of it. We drive straight for the helicopter. We grab the senator, rush the doctor, run onto the helicopter, commandeer the helicopter. That's the rough plan. And then get the phone.
Yeah. The plan, the commandeer the helicopter.
That's incredibly stupid, and I love it. So I'm all the way in.
Now, when you say rush the helicopter,
Steal the
do you mean
helicopter.
drive your SUV into the helicopter. Like
Is it-
up
wait,
the
is
back.
it-
It's big
No,
enough
that's
you
our
can
escape.
store an
Yeah,
SUV
we
inside.
want to just drive into the helicopter.
I guarantee you the limousine will not fit in there. The SUV, 100%, easily, with space.
How about this? You shoot the driver.
What is it?
Spin the limo for cover, like just before. We wrap around with the SUV. You hop onto the SUV's back, and we go up the ramp.
Who
Like a
is
ripper?
Vin Diesel playing in this situation?
Yeah, what?
Where is Ludacris? That's all I'm asking.
Well, he's
We went
He's
full
our man
action
on
film early in
the.
this.
Ludacris is our man on the inside. He's inside the helicopter and he's like hacking all of the.
That's the most ludicrous thing I've heard so far. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
That is what he does in those movies. He just shows up places to like press computer and then weird things happen, like a car goes into space. Okay, so I guess
is this a Karnov? Is that what we're looking at?
I guess I will shoot this guy and try to spin the limo so that I can get out with the senator held hostage.
What's the?
I like how we're just going straight with Mike. Right?
And then we can get picked up by this SUV.
I don't think it's a specific helicopter that like exists in Battletech fiction. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of vehicles we never see in Battletech.
By immersion.
Oh, I'm sorry that I don't have a specific. Oh my god,
It's fine. It's
like
fine.
the
I'll
5
survive.
different kinds of
hilarious.
Savannah Masters, or the Saladin actually being 3 different tanks that are just ever so slightly different, or the Patton and the Rommel being the same tank with reversed loadouts. Like, not everything needs to be super micromanaged.
That's also.
How is someone going to draw
fan?
fan art of this if they don't know what the helicopter
No one
is?
draws
though?
fan art. People haven't drawn fan art since Winter's Edge 2, my man.
A man can dream.
I dream of receiving fan art again, but it doesn't happen.
Okay.
I chase the fan artists away, I guess. I gave them everything, and they were upset by that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna try to do this this Vin Diesel move, and
All right. Well, the great news is that you don't have to do it. The driver of the vehicle has to do it, and he'll do whatever you say because you're holding a gun on him. He's an expert driver, so yeah, he does whatever you ask.
yeah. Does he have a gun?
Yeah, of course.
No. All right. Well, that's unfortunate for him. I'm gonna shoot him and take the senator hostage.
All right. You shoot him. The senator goes, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put my gun on the senator and say, "Get the fuck out of the car. We're gonna get into the SUV. Go,
All right.
move now."
Now, he's equivocating and trying to negotiate. He has been talking to you the entire time while you've been ignoring him. You know what I mean? He's been going through the stages of grief and negotiation, and it's just in the background. He's been babbling. He does what you say while still attempting to negotiate, and he gets out of the car and goes, "Dr. Ruth, I'm being held hostage." And she goes, "Oh, that's nice, dearie."
Yeah, so Celeste will say, she's still like got the gun. I think she like pushes the gun into his back, right?
All right.
As
You see
she's,
that
like,
there are
making a
2
move,
guards
right?
with Dr. Ruth who are now pointing rifles at you. One of them's like,
And-
"Drop the gun! Put the gun down now! Release the senator!" The other
She'll
one's like,
say-
"Don't drop the gun! Put your hands up!"
She's gonna shout, "There's a version of this where the senator and each of you all make it home to your families alive, and it's a version where you all shut the fuck up and listen to what I have to say."
What a child of Lachlan McDougall, but from a different generation because they use profanity. That's how you could tell it's from a newer punk generation.
Yeah. So do these people want to play ball, or am I gonna start killing folks?
I think that this is leadership with charisma for sure.
that's great.
I'll also accept with strength. Yes, I know you have a +2 to charisma, so you're gonna pick that.
But I also have a +0 in leadership, so I'm rolling with a total of +2.
Okay.
You get you should be getting a circumstantial +1 because you timed your speech to also rack the pistol like at the right time for intimidation.
No.
All right.
The pistol is what is allowing him to intimidate people.
No,
if he got out of the car without a pistol,
without a gun,
honestly, dude, honestly,
that's hilarious.
Honestly, that would be even better.
If I roll two ones, that's what happens. I just got out of the car but forgot the gun.
You grabbed a banana instead.
It's a 12.
The opposite.
Boxcars.
All right. Dr. Ruth looks at her two guards, puts a hand on each of their shoulders. They put their guns on safe and then drop them on the ground and hold their hands up. She goes, "Oh, there's no need for violence, young lady."
I certainly hope not. Now, let's get in the chopper.
Are you looking for an autograph? I get stalkers like you all the time.
Stop talking. It's time to get into the chopper.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna try to
now before we go any further, I need to know what's happening with the other car.
I thought we were taking the car into the chopper.
Okay, so you're driving the car up into the helicopter. Now, all right. You drive the car up into the helicopter. The guards from the rest of the facility are now gathering themselves. They're yelling at each other. It seems like there's some sort of leadership problem. No one wants to go first into exposing themselves potentially to gunfire.
Celeste, it's your shot. This to take control, take charge. Tell them it's an emergency or something.
But they're like
this is the third assassination attempt on the senator.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right. Here's what Celeste is going to say.
Are you sure you want to do this? Let me just ask before you get started. I'm not sure what the consequences of failure will be, but they will be devastating.
I feel like we should just leave at this point. Like, we have the time. Like, let's just take control of the helicopter and get the fuck out of here, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think the main.
They're not in the helicopter, right?
That's correct. They are coming out of the buildings in cover, preparing themselves to rush the helicopter pad so they can get to the entrance of the helicopter.
Yeah, okay, so she's not going to try to, like, take charge, but here's what she's going to do. She's, like, going to see them forming up. She's going to sort of, like, gesture at Celeste and Angus to take one of these two hostages and, like, you know, get control of the helicopter, right? Yeah. And in the meantime, she's basically going to shout at these people forming up and is going to go, "I wouldn't do that. It's clear that y'all are missing a commanding officer. You're going to rush this plane, get two VIPs killed, probably half of your troops trying to take me down. Now, we can keep this simple. Everyone can lay down their weapons. You'll make it home safe to your families, and these two VIPs will get home safe as well once we're done with them. Or some of you can try to be heroes, and it's going to go poorly for everyone involved."
Can I ask for a leadership charisma roll?
All right, so still plus
the
2
difficulty
here.
is going to be, let's say 9 to get these people, because you're playing hardball. Yeah, you got
That's a 10.
Yep.
Classic.
You can see
where
they're
were these
getting
dice
ready
last game? Jeez.
to rush the helicopter. So you said 2 hostages. You actually have at least 5 hostages.
Oh.
So there's the 2 guards, Dr. Ruth Miller, Senator Charlie, and then there's at least 1 or more members of the air crew who you haven't even seen because, of course, the cockpit is sectioned off from the rest of the aircraft.
Right, so we need to get control.
What do you want to do with these
cockpit.
hostages? Because you said keep a gun on one of them, but there are more people than you have guns.
I would like to try to, well, basically, I think we need to divide and conquer here, right? Somebody, probably Angus, needs to try and take control of the cockpit. In the meanwhile, I think if Celeste and Athena work together, we probably need to, like, corral the hostages into one area. That way, like, one of us can watch them while the other 2 try to get this helicopter off the ground.
Okay,
Does
well,
that
Dr.
make
Ruth Miller
sense?
is strapped into her seat because that's what you told her to do. You know, she's strapped into one of the seats that are along the outside of the helicopter so that when it takes off, she doesn't go flying everywhere.
Okay, so then I guess we'll just have each of the hostages strap into a seat.
Okay, they strap in tight.
and I will take guns away from the security people.
Okay, they're right. They left their rifles on the floor.
Oh, okay. All right, so that's good. And then, so now we just need to try to get this airplane off the ground, I think, or helicopter, whatever the fuck it is.
The helicopter. All right, Eric. It sounds like you're in charge of breaking into the cockpit and demanding that military pilots do what you want, which traditionally they love having someone break into their cockpit and hold a gun on them.
Yep. What's their disposition when I have a gun pointed at them in the helicopter? You know, I'm coming in behind.
Someone turns, the pilot like turns and looks over his shoulder and it's just like, who's this? You know, they're speaking over their comms. They're just like, who's this guy? I don't see that he's on the flight. Is this a civilian? The co-pilot turns and looks over his shoulder and says, Chief, I think that guy's holding a gun on us. Pilot turns and looks over his shoulder and says, I think you're right.
Yep. And if you want to live, you're going to keep doing what we say.
Put a headset on. I can't hear anything you're saying.
I just visualize racking the gun and pointing at him.
I mean, the co-pilot hands you a headset.
Fine.
Okay. I need you to make a roll at the moment you're putting the headset on for the co-pilot not to strip you of your weapon.
Oh, that's easy.
Sounds like combat.
Is he really going to try? Is he really? Yeah. Is he really going to try? Is he
absolutely.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. He's going to get jujitsu out of the plane.
Okay. It's not a plane. It's a helicopter.
Well, then even better because then
I'm sorry. Now
landing.
wait. Did we just specialize the characteristics of the flight?
It was always a helicopter.
It's always a helicopter. But that's
Yeah,
great.
that's not changed.
That's worse for him because that means
first
that
thing
if
I
he
said
finds-
was you see an olive
Let me
drive
mind
helicopter.
beast.
well,
That's an
let
ad
me just
hominem.
say,
All right.
AP,
I don't
it's
like
worse.
Hominid.
All right, y'all.
I'm
Cool
about to
down.
add your homonym.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm about to
Well,
teach you the homilies and hymns. So that's an Alexander Hamilton reference. Now, I would like a roll.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going for some sort of martial
Combat.
arts. Yeah.
Combat unarmed.
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Told
for
you.
sure, for sure,
Ideally, jujitsuing him. Get off my plane.
Yep.
Harrison Ford style.
Get off my air. Double
Oh
sixes.
my goodness.
What is
What
happening?
is going on?
Chosen one.
All right.
So
This
My
guy
God.
hands you the headset. You take the headset. When you're distracted, putting the headset on, he slaps the button that's holding, his straps in place, goes for you.
His seat goes back to try to get me. Sorry.
It's another rendition of seat jutsu.
You absolutely dominate this guy using seat jutsu, and then you open like an emergency cockpit exit and boot him out. The chief of the plane, now that you've got the headset on, goes, yeah, I didn't order him to do that. Suppose you still have that gun on me. Can't look back over my shoulder here. Just powering up engine 2 for the flight today. Just want to thank Dr. Ruth Miller for being on board this hostage flight. We are good to go. Sir, what would you like us to do?
I take a quick glance backwards to make sure that my companions and our VIP are kind of settled in, ready to
You
go.
have 2
Doors shut.
VIPs and 2 mooks.
I'm imagining we would like take the seats on the opposite side of them, right?
Sure.
So that we could like keep like
They can't jump, so they can't jump out.
The
Yeah.
pilot is just like, yeah, I'm looking back there. I see an unsecured SUV in the hold.
Athene has been doing that the whole time.
You're going to strap the SUV down?
Yeah.
Okay. No?
No, you should be able to deploy that as a bomb.
Oh.
Sorry, as a bomb?
How about this?
Well, I mean, as a dart. I don't
Okay.
know. What do you mean?
How about this?
So you're just gonna let it fall out the back as we take off? Is that what you're planning?
Well, no, I assume. Yeah, I guess we do have to strap it in some way.
Yeah,
But I thought
we
the
can
idea of
strap
like
it
being
in.
able to let it fall out onto a pursuing aircraft or something like that would be cool.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? This is not...
I'm thinking too far ahead.
This is
I'm
not
sorry.
A-Team, okay?
It might be
Look,
AP.
AP returns.
Have you seen how we're
You
rolling?
keep double sixing and you can do whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We have the mandate of heaven.
We've already got Ludicrous in the cockpit.
The
you know? It's
mandate
good.
of heaven? It's...
Look,
Lou Boo just falls over and dies for no reason. Just because you wanted him to.
Oh my god.
Well, okay, so I guess you strapped down the thing, so we're ready to take off. Is that what we're saying?
That was the plan. The thinking was that like Athena, while you're like she's maybe helping Corral like watch them, but
Who is this them that you think is doing?
the hostages. Sorry, the hostages are so Athena is strapping down while Celeste is corralling the hostages and making sure they're strapped in. Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll live in an imaginary world where one person can strap an SUV down in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah,
Absolutely. This is a tabletop RPG. I'm sorry to all the load masters in the real world, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of those are watching this right now.
Listen, Eddie, I see you rolling your eyes at me. I've seen motherfuckers who can't even use bungee cords correctly to strap stuff down in the back of their F-150s. It's a art and a science. It's not a joke.
I'm a scientist. And I've got pre-tech.
Just because you're a scientist doesn't mean you know how to properly load a vehicle into the back of a helicopter.
I got the vehicle space.
Hey,
so
this isn't what's arguing about. I'm letting it happen immediately and instantly without a roll, just with a nod towards the fact that absolutely this is a skill you probably don't have.
Fair. All right, so we've locked it down, and I give the go-ahead. All right.
No one can hear you say anything. It's super loud now that the engines are going full rev. They're just waiting to take off.
Athena would know then to get one of those
Get
headsets.
a headset. As soon as you get a headset, the pilot goes for you. No, we've already done that scenario.
Are there headsets next to all the seats?
Yeah,
I mean,
of
I
course.
guess I'll just put one
Yeah.
on then. Yeah, why not?
When everything's clear and we're the SUV is situated and stuff like that, we're going airborne.
Okay, you go airborne. I mean, you hear over the radio that there's traffic control, like air traffic control, just talking about how this flight was not cleared to take off yet. And they're asking what's going on.
Back to Athena.
Yeah, I feel like
Or maybe Celeste. We should look at Celeste.
I guess
look at Celeste.
if we're gonna be making up some bullshit, it's probably my job. So I guess I just go on the comms and I just go on scheduled takeoff. There's been assassination attempts on the VIPs. Needed to get airborne.
All right, understood. We're declaring a state of emergency. We're sending escort fighters to your position.
Whoops.
Let's get you headed toward Hangetsu Bay. It's going to put you on a course of 030.
Roger. Yeah, so we'll just go obviously.
So you see
not
on like
to
the
where they
radar.
want us to go.
You definitely see on the radar thing that like your aircraft has been tagged as in distress, and that like escort aircraft are about 20 minutes away from making contact with your helicopter. It looks like you're actually following the flight plan that is already pre-filed in the helicopter.
Cool.
It was already headed in this direction. So you've successfully taken off.
Yeah, what's the goal now that we're in the air? Because wasn't our actual mission to do something in the radio station?
You were to either to gather military intelligence there or leave fake military intelligence behind. One of those two things. You've completely skipped that section and taken 2 hostages.
Well, we forgot. We didn't know that was the objective.
we needed this guy for some reason, and then it just kind of
didn't know that was the objective. You had the same information I did, Eddie.
I know. Well, I forgot.
Okay, so
right,
just as a reminder, your hostages are a civilian senator and a woman who works for military intelligence, but only in the civilian control part of the government. She's part of the Voice of the Dragon organization that is a government broadcasting company. She's a talk show host that tells people how they should act culturally.
I see. Would it make sense that we could get, like, maybe she's told things that she then has to spin? So she would have military secrets and intelligence that we could potentially gather from her person.
At this point, the only thing that I can think of that we could do to salvage this is to get her back to whatever kind of like base position we have and then try to turn her into some kind of Manchurian candidate.
Oh.
That's the only thing. Like, basically just get her to broadcast our propaganda instead of theirs. But that's the only thing I can think of, because I think we've pretty much botched this entirely otherwise.
So Dr. Ruth Miller puts her headset on and is looking at Athena and says, "Oh, dearie, I can feel my phone is vibrating. Do you mind if I answer it? I'm supposed to be going to an interview in Hangetsu Bay with an important celebrity. I'm sure that's her calling me right now just to make sure that I'm on track and on schedule. I promise not to give away the fact that we're being held hostage or anything. It just would be impolite not to talk to her."
Yeah, I think Athena, trying to think of like the least intrusive way of doing this, but my thinking is like we're now airborne, we can potentially move around, right?
Yeah, sure. You trust the pilot to remain in level flight status and not attempt anything, right?
No, not really.
Okay.
But
well, then take your own life into your own hands.
fair enough. So here are the two things that I was thinking about, and I'll toss this out to like the group for like maybe shooting them down if they're terrible. One is that Athena does have like tech to potentially intercept or like transfer a signal so that she can answer the phone or respond via text.
Sure. But I mean, you can literally just take the phone from her. You don't need anything fancy like that.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, you were talking about the pilot maybe. Okay, anyway, that was the other option. It's basically walk over there and grab the phone from her.
All right, you grab the phone. You hear a woman's voice on the other side, just barely over, only because you're pressing your ear right up against it, say, Dr. Ruth, just wanted to make sure that you're on schedule for our interview. Looking forward to getting you on the yacht. It's quite loud there. Is the helicopter taking off? I thought you weren't scheduled to go for another few minutes.
I think, yeah, like Athena tries to mask her voice to like with the chopper noise. So like kind of say like, early departure.
Okay, can't wait for you to get here. I hope nothing unusual happens. It's just seems a little strange. Well, I'll see you shortly.
See you soon, dearie.
Okay. Hangs up.
I give, and I just look at the lady. I put the headset on, and I say, "I'll just hold on to this for now, but thank you."
She looks indignant that you would take her phone from her.
Is there something on this that
my life's work is on there? My schedule, my appointments, all of my contact information. How rude. Young lady, I cannot believe that you would... This is the most unprofessional kidnapping I've ever been a part of. Who are you people with? One of my rivals?
I'm sure you have many. But no, we actually would like to talk to you for some time, if that would be okay.
I'm a talk show host, dear.
And if you do so, I'll give you your phone back, of course.
All right. Well, I'm not an idiot.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we wanted to understand some of the things that you've been talking about recently a bit more in depth, if possible.
I mean, she looks at you like she thinks you're talking total bullshit. Just to be clear, the things she normally talks about are people who write in letters like, how can I be a better citizen of the Draconis Combine?
Okay.
I think my neighbor might be a traitor. What should I do?
Oh, jeez.
Turn in their entire family, of course, for investigation by the Internal Security Force.
Oh,
It's
my
better for
goodness.
someone to be trusted, but also verified.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, because at this point I've totally lost track of the plan. So if you
All
have
right,
thoughts
so
on where
your
to go from
situation
here.
is you have taken off in a helicopter. You've declared a state of emergency. You have about 15 minutes until fighter craft come and intercept your aircraft.
No, I'm aware of the situation,
Yes.
AP. I just don't really.
You don't know what the
have
end
it-
game is. Great.
Yes,
That is what
yes.
I want to hear as the person
No.
waiting to hear what your end game is.
Absolutely, that's why I was going to let Eddie continue, because this is pretty much his show at this point.
So your pitch so far is, if you answer a few questions, I'll give you your phone back. To which she replied, I'm not an idiot. Where would you like to go from there? And Eric, I assume, is still actively holding a gun on the pilot.
Yeah, that's taking all my brain cells.
Yeah.
I think
I also want to remind you, any communication you guys have with each other, everyone else on the helicopter will hear.
Yeah,
Sure. Unless we do like siblings signals and things like that.
No.
But
these are NPCs, AP. They're not real people.
yeah. No.
That is, unless one of the Blades of Honor inserted themselves into this scenario.
Oh, that's a good point. In that case,
I
kill all
offered you
of
guys
them.
the opportunity
In
to...
that case, I'm going to kill all of the hostages.
Look, Sam came for violence, regardless of what is actually happening. Oh my god.
Oh,
I
man.
offered you guys an opportunity to replace the senator and other people in the scenario. In the first episode, you didn't do that. I made the same offer to the other group.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So I kill all the hostages.
You
Just
let me
kidding.
know when you are being serious and have a plan.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Well, we need a place to land. Is that
Yeah. So
where are our
I
options
mean,
there,
step
gang?
one is you need to figure out what you're going to do when you get intercepted by fighter jets.
yeah, so here's
No, not unless we land.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They got to scramble. That's 2 minutes. How far
No,
are we?
they're out. They're
How far
15
away are
minutes
we?
out. You know how far they are out because you can see them on the
Okay.
radar.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So
Next
here's-
up, then.
Well, I'll toss out the idea that I have. The idea that I have was that Athena would try to send a decoy signal in the continued direction, and we'd fly off some other direction.
That will not work as soon as they get visual, which will happen in 10 minutes.
15 minutes.
I guess
But they'll lose track of us.
I think the
goal is
first
to-
thing we need to think about is what do we want at the end of this scenario,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Like, okay, yeah, we can try to get away now, but like, if we just fly away, then we just like have these hostages, and is that like where, like, is that how we're trying to like salvage the plan? Is that basically we're chalking it up to a loss and we're just going to take these hostages, or is there some other end game? Because I think that's the starting place we need to go for.
I hope Ratosaurus is watching this right now with a smile
Okay.
on his face, just absolutely grinning at what's happening.
Okay. So, yeah. The reason isn't the reason why we have this guy is because he was getting you were trying to convince him to give us secrets because he was getting assassinated, right?
Yes.
You were trying to get it inside.
Yeah.
You
very
have
good.
failed to turn him multiple times.
Right.
Right. So now we just have to like
Now
actually
you've taken
torture
him
the guy.
hostage.
Yeah. Okay. So now can we? I don't know, guys. One thought would just be to do like the Bane shit in the plane, you know, and try to get him to tell us who he works for in the plane, and then we throw him out or something. The second that doesn't really solve the
The interceptors.
problem. Yeah, the interceptors we just have to fly low. I mean, that's the number one. I'm pretty sure these planes don't have guns.
Or the helicopter?
No,
Oh,
I'm pretty
fighter
sure.
jets.
No,
Oh,
the
the
fighter
fighter
jets
jets?
don't have guns. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure these fighter jets don't have guns.
The jets that are intercepting you absolutely have guns.
Okay, they're good.
So
I thought we
the
could just
one
fly
thing
low enough that
here's what
we couldn't get their Fox 2s to
Your
work.
group absolutely knows that you guys have air superiority. You destroyed most of their air superiority fighters. But someone bought an enormous number of Mechbuster aircraft, which are basically A-10s, which is what's about to intercept you. So they 100% have big honking guns.
What the? Yeah, what they? Why do they have a freaking Gao Avenger cannon? Okay, never mind.
It's an AC-20.
Yeah,
Could we
that's
just
the worst.
call our own planes to blow them up first?
Hey, look, it's the third assassination attempt. These other intercepting.
So
planes.
you can, but any call that you make, the people are going to be able to listen in and hear it. You know what I mean? This helicopter is not equipped with your encrypted comm channels or anything. You'll be broadcasting in the open, and the pilots of the aircraft that are coming are going to hear that you are attempting to launch a counter strike on them.
Well,
And of course, air traffic control is going to know that the aircraft isn't in distress. It's actually in super distress. It's not taking off. It's in a hostage situation.
yeah.
Well, okay, yes, that's true.
You can do this, and it will super escalate the situation to an entirely new level of risk.
Well, I'll toss out there again that Athena is the tech person in this scenario, trying to like support and have the tech to be able to do different things. Would we not have some way of like, even if it's minimal communication, but more of like a distress beacon or like call in air support sort of thing?
Sure.
But it's under our like,
Sure. But I mean, the air traffic controllers are going to know that enemy aircraft are inbound. You know what I mean? Like, they might not hear you call for help, but they're going to know that their escorts are about to be intercepted, so they'll launch counter interceptors.
It'll escalate regardless. Yeah.
Again, all of that is meaningless. I think you need to focus on your end game. You came here for military intelligence. You don't have any files, folders, floppy disks, CD drives, zip drives. You have none of that. You didn't go in the facility at all. You have 2 hostages, one of whom is a civilian senator, the other of whom is a talk show host.
How did we?
Additionally, you have 2 guards and a helicopter pilot.
Why'd we go to the helicopter? Why didn't we just turn around?
And to be clear, this helicopter is heading deep into enemy-held territory.
Yeah, the helicopter idea was because I thought we were trying to escape the situation, not get intelligence here.
You successfully convinced everyone that there's an incident at the base and that you are escaping it.
No, I know, but the intention with the helicopter situation was, I thought we were trying to escape the situation, not get intelligence at the facility. So that was just a misunderstanding on my part, tossing that idea.
Okay.
But anyway, endgame. I mean, I think we're either need to pull back some curtains, so like either get some intelligence from the people that we have, leverage them for military intelligence by like sequestering them somewhere, and like you said, Manchurian candidate them. But because otherwise, that's how we salvage.
Well, the problem is we're on a helicopter right now. We can't land, and there's no place that's safe to land to sequester people, which is why I recommend we do Dark Knight Rises style.
But I think the key question here is, does the senator even have any information? Because I thought the whole thing was he was just going to get us into the secured facility that had the information, not that he had it.
Oh. How are you? That's why you were seducing him?
Yeah, the whole thing was he was basically going to become our spy and start leaking us information.
Oh, because he had access. Oh,
yeah.
We're so lost in the sauce. Okay.
Yeah,
whatever, dude.
We were
I don't know, let's just get out and survive. Let's just get. Okay, I think the real objective is to survive.
Maybe the answer here is to just try to use. Just drop the SUV on their fucking comms tower so they lose comms and then try to get the fuck out of here. I mean, that's all I got at this point.
Just to be clear, you are several minutes
we get out
of flight away from the base. Like, you've had full conversations with air traffic control at this point. You are away from the place where you took off at. You're going somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we could turn course, I suppose. That said, the alternative, I guess, the only other alternative that I can think of is like either a decoy plan or like where we go dark on the radar. So like we try to mask ourselves in some way on the radar. Don't know how that would work necessarily, but
The only way you can do that is by flying low enough that the radar doesn't ignores everything under a certain altitude.
Cool, but your aircraft is also emitting a IFF.
IFF,
Right.
yeah.
So we'd have to silence the IFF.
Yeah, all right, we have to turn off our transponder.
Dangerous, but
And
potentially-
extremely.
Because then we'd probably get shot on sight.
Anyone would shoot us, basically, but
Yeah.
because they don't know what we are. I don't know. I mean, well, listen, we can. I will rather have the chance that we get shot at than the definite we get shot at. So
What's the chance? I mean, we're in a Vin Diesel moment here. So I'm just like trying to lean into that because that's basically, I think, the only thing getting out of it.
I have no idea. I don't know. How far do we have? AP, here's a question. So in terms of distance in minutes or time or whatever, how far do we have to fly till we're in quote unquote safe territory?
Let's call it like an hour.
Okay.
I mean, you went deep into enemy territory too. But if you want to call for backup, it can get there pretty quickly, I think.
Probably not as fast as the interceptors, though, right?
You know, I'm gonna say faster. I think it's reasonable to assume that if you really want to have, I'm willing to throw you guys a bone and say that you have a secret beacon that will send an encrypted signal to summon an aerospace fighters to come help escort the helicopter, even though leaving in a helicopter was never part of the plan. Let's just say you had backup air support just in case anything happened. I'm willing to give you anything you want at this point if you'll move forward.
I mean, to be clear, you're making it sound like
it's not that
we're
unusual.
choosing not to move forward. I just don't have any fucking ideas.
Yes,
so like,
I'm
that's
aware.
why I'm not speaking up.
Yeah, it's all very reasonable.
I've given all of my ideas, so anyone who has one, go ham.
I don't want it to seem like I'm being combative with you guys. It's just that we've led ourselves into a story where you rolled very badly, then you rolled very well, and now we're just not doing anything.
I got you.
I think part of it is because like we lost the thread of like our objective getting into the sauce.
It sounds to me like the only thing that we have suggested that has not been we have not been told is impossible is to call for help.
You can call for help.
That's probably the only end. I mean, right? Like, does anyone have any other idea to pursue? Because if not, let's just go that route.
I mean,
no, I feel like just survive. I think scrubbing the plan and just surviving is like the only actual like strategic thing we could do, given that how useless this guy is.
So I guess we call for help then, because that's the only idea I have for getting out or doing anything. Right? Like that's all I've got. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, call for help in some fashion. I'm cool with that. I'm curious.
Right, so yeah, let's do that. We're gonna call for air support to try to help us get the hell out of here, but without getting shot down.
Okay. A whole bunch of stuff happens, right? Like, you call for air support, the air support shows up, the air support from the Draconis Combine coming to escort you, then waves off because, they're A-10s, they don't want to fight F-22s, right? That's just not going to happen. the pilot of the aircraft that you're in, sorry, the helicopter that you're in is just basically like, so I should answer ground control at some point. As ground control's like, what's going on? Answer me. I'm declaring another state of emergency. I think you've been taken hostage. You know, like things rapidly are escalating out of several people's control. But for all of you, it's just a kind of unpleasant helicopter flight for like an hour, hour and a half. When you sit down at the base, you have a bunch of hostages, so no military intelligence files. But you could get intelligence from these two, for sure.
Yeah, let's find out what the senator knows.
Now, I believe I've let you make at least 2 rolls to find out what the senator knows.
No, that's not true at all.
I'm about
you
to
allowed me to make 2 rolls to try to convince the senator to become a double agent.
Sure.
That's not the same at all.
No, now we're in the enhanced interrogation techniques. We're no longer we're no longer in the human asset part.
We've already done enhanced interrogation in this show. I don't need specifics. I would just like a reasonable skill you'd like to roll.
I don't think that they're gonna jump right to like try to like torture this guy, but I think I would start with like basically it's like, all right, the pitch that Celeste is making, right, is like, look, I think it's obvious to you as it's obvious to me that the plan that we were trying to effectuate has totally blown up. So basically work with me to make it so that I have something to take away from this, because otherwise you're a useless hostage to me. And we both know that that's bad for you.
Enlightened self-interest is a solid go-to here. I will let you make a persuasion charisma roll.
Oh boy. Persuasion, I don't think I have. I have a 0 in persuasion. All right, good, great.
Here comes the boxcars.
Or the double ones. Nothing in between today. 8 plus 2 is a 10.
Okay.
That's pretty damn good.
Nice. All right.
I now require a second roll from whoever would like to vet the intelligence he gives you.
Ooh.
Not me.
That sounds like Athena work to me.
Yeah, what would you want for that?
I think security.
I don't
intelligence.
have a skill.
I have security.
Eric, not me.
I can
5
vet
seconds
it.
later. Eric, me.
Yeah, do it. Security,
I guess so.
boy.
Security intelligence.
Can I help with post-tech or pre-tech?
Yeah, let's say yes.
Okay, cool.
Give him a +1.
7
7 total?
total.
All right. This guy gives you intelligence. And at first, it seems inexplicable. This is a perfect Top Gun 2 situation, Battlestar Galactica fuel refinery, Death Star run situation, where the secret airfields these mech busters have been launched out of, like this senator has information about it, and like the canyon where his staff took him recently, where they have not yet begun putting emplacements in to defend it, but they have surveyed the area and determined that it's a security risk on approach. And the more you look at it, the more you're like, someone planted this information for us to find. Like, this guy was informed, probably there's more intel back at the radio station. All of it was to put us into this canyonway. And you're like, it would be so easy to take out a flight of aerospace fighters, even just with like a 50 caliber machine gun. You know, when they're flying low and slow, they come around a corner and then the cockpit gets sprayed and they're done. It's super cost effective. Like this, you guys have walked into the jaws of a counterintelligence operation that at the last second you realize the trap is closing around you.
So can we avoid the trap?
Well, you just don't go on a mission.
Yeah. I tell the I guess wherever the lobby is that everyone's in there, I come in eating an apple and say, it's true. This was a bogus mission. They're feeding us information about a secure launch site for these aircraft in this valley, and I don't know, it all smells like dog caca to me. bite of the apple crunch.
So my question would be, it doesn't sound like there's much we could do to like flip this on them, because it's not like they have a bunch of like troops stationed there to like do an ambush. It's just like they were trying to go for a minimum impact, like minimum cost, maximum impact.
Yes.
Is that correct, AB?
Yeah, there's no way to flip this around.
Our best bet is to just avoid this.
Yes, they rolled a 4 to trick you.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we're just, well done, Angus. We'll avoid all getting fucking destroyed.
Yes.
So my other question about maybe things that we could do with the weird success that we had.
This is a partial loss for you guys.
I mean,
you came here for military intelligence and you didn't walk into a trap is not a success, but it's also not the crucial failure that you were quite close to walking into.
Agreed. I'm wondering if maybe one way we can sort of salvage this is there any way for like, how unique are these helicopters? Like, basically, could we do something to effectively like use this as like trick the Draconis Combine into thinking it's one of their helicopters moving forward? And
it is one of their helicopters.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, basically,
this is a normal, like, run of the mill. As I was describing earlier, like, this is one of thousands of such helicopters on this planet.
Sure.
Okay, so there's nothing that I would need to do to like. Now this is just like a useful thing.
You need a transponder, right?
Okay,
like,
so that's the role
code.
that's the roles that we want to make.
All right, Eddie,
basically
it's time. It's post-tech time, Eddie.
You see
time has come.
You see the goal we're looking for here,
yes,
though, right?
You want to spoof the ID. You wanted to say Millennium Falcon rather than whatever it
police car, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Intelligence, post-tech, it's your moment, Eddie. You've waited all scenario for this one role. All you have to do is pull this little computer RFID tag out the back and then reprogram it to say anything else that's reasonable. I see a 6 on one of those dice.
And a 5 on the other.
Oh, fuck. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so you wanted a undercover helicopter that would still read as being part of the Draconis Combine, and you have a switch in the cockpit that will switch it between a friendly to Federated Suns and friendly to Draconis Combine tag.
Nice.
So that's not bad. That's a pretty useful little asset for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a felony.
Well, I mean, so is kidnapping people.
Yeah, of course. I just want to make sure that you understand when you go to trial, even if you get out of the charges for like war crimes and invading the planet and the bombing and murders that your father did 20 years ago and
premeditated homicide,
you could go down for felony interference with aircraft operations.
I mean, I guess that's gonna be like our Al Capone moment, right? Like it's like the Al Capone tax evasion charges.
Oh my god!
You can evade everybody, but you can't evade the FAA, the strongest organization in the Draconis Combine.
Oh my god!
Okay.
So we have at least an asset, which is nice.
Honestly, considering how bad this started off 2 weeks ago,
yes.
I'm honestly like pretty pleased with where we landed on it. Like, yeah, it could have gone a lot worse.
Even though we didn't get the intelligence, like we were running into that building where they were closing the doors on us. I was like, that's why, like imagery wise, I was thinking like, oh, we need to get out of here. Oh, there's a helicopter. Oh, we should get on that helicopter. Yeah. Anyway.
Now, I want to clarify. They didn't roll poorly to put guards there. They intentionally chose undertrained conscripts.
Oh my god.
So that you would make it inside.
I see.
Oh, so not making it inside actually turned out to be a good thing.
Well, I meant inside not making it inside and but like the gate and such, like if they had put anyone competent there, probably it would have been a very different situation, but they intentionally chose people who'd just been drafted yesterday.
Well, look, at least we didn't follow their plan and just go right into the base. I'm still sad we didn't get to drop the SUV onto the radio tower.
Oh my goodness.
That would have been pretty cool.
Dropping it on a plane would have been cooler. But
Yeah, onto one of the A10s.
Onto the A10 that then hits the radio tower. Because you roll a tower.
No, because they sent 2 escort fighters. The first A10, when it gets hit, flies into the second A10, and then the resulting
and then
fireball.
that one hits the comm fire.
And then someone on the ground goes, "Do you think he plans it like that? Or does it just work out for him?"
Since it was the
The
A-team,
best
I
damn
figured,
pirate I've ever seen.
since it's the A-team AP, I just figured it would be like the SUV would fall out, hit the first A10, and then we would, like, a minute later just get the exact same shot of an SUV falling out and hitting another A10.
Gotta save money. Airwolf for sure, yeah.
Wow.
Stock
All right, so
footage
is there
moment.
anyone else have any ideas for ways we could try to use the helicopter or the hostages?
I mean, do we just like transport no, because then they would call whistleblower or something like that.
They definitely know that these 2 were taken hostage. I mean,
Totally,
you left
totally.
a huge number of witnesses.
That's fair. No, and the escorts and all that stuff. Yeah, so I think they
Oh
disappeared.
no! Sorry. Yes, the escort fighters are dead. You killed all the security guards.
Yeah. No, okay. Here's. I'll pitch another idea for you all. We go back to the tower, the facility as the new helicopter that we've now.
Hold on, I actually do have a question though. The pilot is a military pilot. Does he have like codes and shit we could steal?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so. But they know that he's been taken hostage, so they're going to change those codes. They're good for a short amount of time.
Okay.
I will give you, if you could somehow work that into the next mission, I will consider that a minor boon for you.
All right.
If you can somehow work uncracked codes into mission 2.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I was gonna think that one idea that I had was if it's pretty far.
Well, I figure if we need the helicopter for anything, having cracked aerospace codes probably good.
Yeah, and my thinking was that like the pilot has codes that have been washed, but if there's if they have several codes that they could that we could get out of them, one potential is that Athena could try to like reverse engineer the codes.
Yeah, like make like a cryptography roll to just Enigma machine them and just break their entire code. That would honestly, can we do that? That's pretty dope. Do we not have enough?
I will allow you to make this roll, but the difficulty will be 10.
Okay.
So I guess the
It'll
question
be a
is,
security
Eddie,
roll with intelligence.
do we want to try to wait until we have a little more to make this roll easier? Because this isn't like something we can probably try over and over.
So
Right.
the next scenario is the last one where you'll be opposing the Combine. The third one is the one where the 2 groups will team up to face a external threat.
All right, so I guess we may as well just fucking go for it then.
Yeah. Well, and here's my thinking, AP. Like, okay, what's the scenario in terms of like when we would be doing this? Would this be in our like safe house situation?
I mean, you say safe house, you're invading a planet, so probably you have a command center and a bivouac.
Yeah, and so the thinking here is like if we're able to have other assets to aid in this role, because you said it was computers still.
No, I said it was security.
Security.
I'll buy computers.
Well, I have post-tech, pre-tech. Like I didn't invest in computers and stuff.
Those are not the same skills.
Yeah.
You invested in hardware and you're trying to do software stuff.
I'll let you make it with science at a -1.
Okay, so it negates my science because I have a +2. Yeah, I have a science. And like maybe help from Angus who has security.
Sure. So you end up with a +1. You need to hit a 10.
And you gotta hit a 10 with a reroll. It's possible.
You already
use
your reroll.
Isn't it the second hour?
Yeah. I'll buy that. Some Warhammer fan out there is figuring out the odds on 9+ with a reroll.
Oh boy.
It's not that high.
It's Grimdark James. He actually knows it by heart. He doesn't need to figure it out.
Oh,
40%.
That's pretty good. That's exactly what you needed and more.
nice.
Okay. Working with threadbare information, Athena, you sit down and you begin hacking.
It's time to science the shit out of this.
Cracking this code. Your brother comes over with the he comes over delivering coffee, and he just has some offhand out of pocket comment about, oh, he's always saying good night to his girlfriend or something. You're like, that's it. That's the thing I need to crack the code. They always start with Hail Hitler. And you crack the Draconis Combine code. Now, again, these codes will be changed by the next mission end. They will only be good in the next scenario, but you will have access to their communications, and you will also be able to spoof yourself into the network and pretend to be Draconis Combine officers and like communications controllers.
Nice.
That's huge.
Now, as a reminder, this is the next scenario. I've given you plenty of notes on the players that will be involved there that you may want to review. And as a second reminder, the other group is going first. So they will do their part of the scenario to locate a traitor. Then you guys will also attempt to either locate a traitor or create one. Or, like you want to find a person who's trying to sell their services to the Federated Sons.
Or create one.
And you want to do whatever you can to negate the Draconis Combine's attempt to stop you from that. And then they, like you have today, will get a final third scenario thing where they counter whatever you have countered and either find the traitor or fail to find the traitor and secure them. So, this will be a traitor in Hangetsu Bay. I've given you a list of the nobility and Yakuza criminals there. You also know Hangetsu Bay is the home stomping grounds of the player characters of Blades of Honor. Their houses and estates and businesses are all there as well. You will be inserting into the city if you would like, or you can play this entire thing out from afar as puppet masters. Just figure out how you want to handle it.
Didn't Angus already create a place for himself amongst the
He did.
Yakuza?
He is the leader of the Smoke Jaguars, I think.
So we could use that. We could use that.
The Mistlinks.
Oh, the Mistlinks. Yes.
Smoke
Jaguars.
Jaguars. Mistlinks, same difference.
God damn.
Hazy Cat.
Nova Cat, I think, would be the.
Yeah.
That's another clan.
Oh,
yeah.
These are
I was
all
just making a
names
joke between like mist and smoke.
Right,
is like
but
that type of
Smoke
haze.
Jaguar is one of the clans of Kerensky, and Mistlinks is a Battlemech that the Smoke Jaguars use.
I see.
Nova Cats is a different clan.
I see.
But there's also, like Stone Lions and Jade
Allied
Falcons
Scorpion,
and
the best.
Sorry, which one did you say was the best?
Allied Scorpions.
I was just gonna say
I
wolves.
I was just memeing. I don't know which one's the best.
tin
I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here. I regret.
It's obviously the sea foxes. There's no question.
I don't want to be in this helicopter.
Trust me, I did my best to get you out of the helicopter.
What's the best? What the best clan is? Get me out of here, dude.
All right, so we got some
spheroid.
good stuff to start with.
Yeah.
My only
Another
concern is
helicopter,
that because Rad
codes.
watches this show, he's going to do everything he can to not use communications next episode, so you can't intercept his
That's
communications.
cheated.
Before you
Rad's gonna
say
invent
that,
a 56-page semaphore language of flags.
3 or 4 months ago whether or not you wanted me to prevent Rad from seeing these episodes early, and you, Sam, personally, and Eric on camera looking directly towards it said, "That's fine. I don't care."
Yeah, well, because I thought that Rad was a gentleman. I thought that this was a game amongst civilized combatants.
Yeah, get in the comments and yell at Rad if he just watches the show and uses it against us.
I thought that we were all going to stand in a line and shoot our muskets at each other.
I think they did a great job of not using what they knew against you.
I actually agree. I was fully ready for them to just shoot the shit out of our 2 cars and be done with it. So
a gun helicopter shows up, right beside the road while you're going up. Just
that actually, when you said there's a helicopter, I was like, oh fuck, okay, I guess we're just gonna get shot.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, where's the Stinger missile? Where's the bazooka? Oh my god.
No one asks Solid Snake where he stores that Stinger missile. Okay? That's all I have to add.
That's fair.
Take 750 experience points for a partial failure on this mission, which is also, I suppose, a partial success.
We did get a bunch of assets.
Full AP.
Yes.
Yeah, we did get a bunch of assets. That was nice.
Oh, I'm a glass half full kind
I'm
of
going
guy.
to let the other group know that they got 1,250 XP.
AP, would you be able to give me 40 more XP?
Yeah, why not? Let's just say yes.
Let's see how far away I am from leveling. I think I'm pretty far away from leveling, but we're going to find out.
That was super close. Well, that was crazy. Thanks for jumping on my idea so fast that we forgot about our actual objective.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't have jumped on the idea so fast. In fact, it all worked out. I honestly don't know that things would have gone any better if we had gone inside of that building.
It's very true, especially if their intention was to have counterintelligence just laid about, But either way, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. The chaos that ensued. Oh my god.
Yeah. Our strategy, so they're like the predator, and our strategy is to be the rabbit. And you know how rabbits, when they get pursued, they actually don't know which way they're going to jump and flee? That's our strategy. That's
awesome.
Yeah,
that is actually pretty great.
That's why when you see their attack, they just look fucking crazy, because literally their body's reacting before their brain does to give them like RNG strength of being unpredictable.
RNG strength? Is that old man strength I heard that Mike Tyson was going to summon?
No, it's that predators can't figure out which way they're going to jump and stuff like that, because they literally don't know.
Yes, this is how people...
And because we don't really know.
Yeah, that's how people beat chess masters or win in a sword fight against a master, because they're like, oh, you're not using any known technique. You're dangerous to both of us right now.
It's like the meme about how studying American military doctrine is useless because the Americans don't know it.
Oh wow! I haven't heard that before. But brutal.
Damn.
Shots fired, man. Shots fired.
True.
I didn't make it up. It's a meme. I don't know if it's true. I don't know anything about anything.
But I am very curious. AP, before we depart or anything, do you have that the people that you mentioned written out somewhere? I can't find it.
I just closed my notes. I think you wrote them out in our chat channel.
I wrote some out, but it was pretty sparse.
No, you wrote Traitor Among the Combine. You listed pretty much everybody right there.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah,
it's not even that far. You just got to scroll up a little bit.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if I got everyone, so...
Nope, that looks more or less correct.
Sweet.
So, I don't know if I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I got to figure out when Blades meets next. But once they've had their session, which will hopefully be in the next 2 weeks, we can have our next session. Are you guys good? Just in case time opens up in Sunday in 2 weeks, which is the
18th.
18th.
Works for me.
Yep, so far so good.
If we make it that far, which I know is not a foregone conclusion at this point, but I just may as well tell you all because I know June 29th, which is a Sunday, I definitely cannot play.
There is a possibility.
Yeah,
that this show will be over by then.
Right. It's a possibility it'll be over, but it's a possibility we'll still be going. So I just
there's a strong possibility we'll still be going. I've seen how scheduling works for both of these shows, but it is possible. Unlikely, but it is possible.
That's crazy.
But yes, I will be. We'll see if it works out. My brother-in-law is gonna be in town, so we're gonna try to do this fancy omakase sushi thing.
Ooh.
But I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to get a table. It's really hard to get.
Yeah. In DC? Ooh.
Yeah, it's like it's like a really fancy, like famous chef. So we're gonna see if I can figure it out. But
Nice.
Maybe
But best of luck. That sounds awesome.
yeah, if it works out, I'll tell you all about it because I'm sure it'll be amazing. But it's definitely one of those. It's like one of those things where like it's gonna be like, you know, it's like food as art. So it's like it's not like a thing you do ever again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
All right, gentlemen. There was a slight time in the middle of the episode where no one had any idea what we were doing while we were in a helicopter in the air and things got tense. Other than that, I think you did an overwhelmingly excellent job, and your rolls certainly were much better than last time.
I was seeing in our
many 12s.
I was saying in our Zoom chat, like our dice rolls are icy hot. So I'm just hoping that next week or next time is not going to be cold as fuck.
Yes. And congratulations, Blades Gang. You win this round.
Yeah.
You win this round.
They partially win this round. Now, if they'd managed to trick you into taking the intel, it would have been an overwhelming success for them.
Mm-hmm. That would have sucked.
They rolled a 4, and that was, that was it.
And
their frame job was just not good. Everything else went perfectly.
Well done.
All right. I'm calling it here.